Alright, we're going to start 3-Barrel Cove on normal. Once you've run these quests once, we could talk to this guy and he will take us to the quests quicker. So that's a nice thing once we get there. We get dispense of these guys and then I'm going to go get my hireling.
Captain Dustin's bridge took this fortified position. Any hoping to pass better curry their favor, or take the long road around.
I'm not sure which of these drop named items and which don't. We'll just loot all the chests and see. Well, it's a nice item. We probably won't keep it.
Heat and steam rise from the cave entrance before you.
One of the things that dropped in the last quest for, or in the wilderness at Sands for me, was this resist energy level 7 wand, which I'm going to use to give fire resistance to. Oop, didn't mean to give it to myself, but I guess I have it too. Give it to Fergus. And I guess I might as well, while I'm here, give him a quick heal. So these are called the fire caves. So
is hot and stinks
you get the idea of why I
Vile
gave him
fumes
resist fire.
sting your
It's
eyes.
probably the biggest source of damage in here. And one of the big reasons, you know, that hirelings can die is
From beyond the door come
is
low
basically
chanting voices.
energy damage,
Disturbing
not having the
feeling
proper.
of
Oh, let me get my
stirring
booze
deep
weapon.
in the earth.
This is just normal, so it's gonna be pretty easy. I probably didn't need to waste my wand on this actually.
On a ledge, high above the lake of magma, you sense something unholy and foul. The altar of the dragon below lies ahead, humming as the altar crumbles. Together, just beyond the edges of your vision, the dragon below awakes. A second altar rests at the end of this cavern. Its power makes bile rise in your throat. You feel a faint tremor below your feet. The dragon stirs. air grows more stifling, the sulphurous stench more nauseating. The heart of the mountain lies. You from across the chasm. Make more of
This guy can blind you, so a good reason to have blindness. I don't know if he will this time, but
shouts something in an eldritch language. The stones echo his words, then are still.
I'm just going to switch to a bow and just take out this. This is basically the last thing we need to do is take that out to finish the quest. We don't really have to go down and fight those guys. We could. They're, especially in normal, they're not very hard.
Dark presence seems to lift from the caves. The dragon below's power is broken.
And now I'm going to recall out.
Heat and steam rise from the cave
You
entrance
could recall out
before
and do this,
you.
recall out and then use the teleporter to get right back here, but I'm going to run some other quests first. And then come back here a little bit later. So if you watched some of the, if you watched the Three-Barrel Cove Wilderness Farming quest, we tried for armor, which we got, the armor I'm wearing, still to this level, and then a staff, which I did not get. So I'm just going to quickly run across here, and that takes me, should take me pretty close to where that staff is. And I think there might be another rare in this neighborhood, but I don't know where it is. I think it just like might jump on me and pounce on me if it's here. See if the kobold is there. It's an unbound item, so it doesn't hurt to have a second item. And especially since it has low durability, and I really like the item. I wouldn't mind getting a second, although I have storage problems. So let's see. Not there.
These proud kobolds were able to fortify this lagoon, mostly because the real dragons.
I'm just going to check for the other rare before I run into the next quests, 2 quests. And when I ran this last time, I was level 4, and it's a level 8 wilderness, so it was a little more challenging. Well, it wasn't really that challenging, but I mean, it was, you know, it took longer to clear the enemies. So now it's super fast. We've gained a lot of power in those 4 levels. So we passed 1 quest already, and there's another quest down here. I'm just going to check for Brian, see if he's there, and then I'm going to go run this quest next. Quest.
The current is drawn into an opening in the rock, just large enough to wiggle
So when
through.
you just go underwater at this spot here, and we'll go on in. The horse is kind of counterproductive. I should have got off the horse before going.
A thick fog rises up from the water as voices of pirates float along the current. Moonlight shines down from an opening above.
The entryway into the pirates' compound rumbles open.
And I believe we might see we could see magic missiles in here, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on.
A strong breeze gusts from a crack in this. Suddenly the clanking of wood and metal intensifies. You notice a lever on the back of the ornamental statue.
I think that's really just for an optional. I don't think I needed to worry about that.
Gusts out. It smells of cold. You hear the gnawing, crunching of bones inside.
Again, the clattering of your forge. One springs at you, eager to attack.
A voice calls out from the back of the room. Please come in. The captain bellows. How dare you interfere with my operation? Prepare to be
You defeated the captain and ended his illegal smuggling operation. Farrier calls out to you. Do not touch anything. One wrong move could kill me. Please, speak with me first.
So you could do that puzzle in there. We're going to run back and just grab the chest and finish it. That puzzle has really good bonus XP that I don't know if it counts towards the RXP or not, but I've just never done that. I've just never done it. I don't think it's hard. I'm pretty good at the puzzles in general, but I think one time I was in a quest with a group, and the person doing it failed on the puzzle, and a couple people said they were going to ban him or block him or something like that. It was pretty ridiculous. So I've just always skipped the puzzle and just done this.
You have
And of course you don't get these chests back there if you don't do the puzzle, but we're done, so that's pretty quick. And now I'm going to check for brine. I'm going to check for those two rares again, and then I'm going to run the next quest that's in this area.
The current is drawn into an opening in the rock, just large enough to wiggle through.
Oh, the wilderness didn't reset. It was too quick, so that means that quest was less than 5 minutes. No big deal. So we'll just run the next quest. The next quest is longer than 5 minutes, so we'll reset. We'll just recheck both of those again after the quest. I think we run it on hard or Reaper, it might take longer than 5 minutes. This looks like sort of like a rock, like you can't go up it, but you can, so this is where the next quest is.
This mine has not been worked since the pirates first claimed the Cove. It now serves to separate pirate.
A strange pedestal sits in the middle of this room. This must be where you will piece together the idol.
For this one, you need a hireling to pull a lever for you. Or you need to be in a party.
The air around you swelters with the heat given off by unseen machinery. The idol of Halak's legs are nearby.
pick up
idol
those
of
5
Hallock.
things. They're various sort of you know, traps or wards or puzzles to get to them. I'm just going to kind of take the leftmost path, and then the second time around I'll take, I guess, the you know, the right. If there's a fork, I'll take the right fork instead. But for this first time, I'm just taking the left path. I think this is an ambush. I don't see a trap. Ooh, Mind's Eye Helm. I want to check that out. Mind's Eye Helm. Wisdom and concentration. Well, it's not too bad. It's, I mean, not something we'll keep, but interesting item. This collectible might even be a ambush. Yeah. A lot of ambushes and traps in this one.
The enchanted mosaic here leads up and past the drawbridge above.
That door back there has one of the things we're looking for. We just have to wait. We have to open it, which I think might be this.
The enchanted mosaic
one of the
here
things we're
leads
gonna
to
do.
the end of the drawbridge, then over the edge to the room below. The idol of Hallock's tail is nearby. The second piece of the idol.
So
has
that
been
was from
found.
opening that bridge, or from solving that bridge puzzle. Doesn't look like we've been this way before, so we'll just go this way. Because the floors overlap and you have multiple floors, it's hard to tell where you've been. You can tell that spot, obviously we haven't been, but it's hard to tell where you've been and not been because of that. That looks like a dead end, so let's just try this path. And we jumped down, so we'll just keep going over the bridge this time. Go left, and this one is trapped instead of ambushed. And this is a level 7 quest, so the loot's a little better than, you know, the level 5s we just ran, but still compared to, you know, the level 8 and 10 quests we were running, you know, earlier in the wilderness, a little disappointing. But okay, we haven't gone this way. Let's kind of just keep. All right, so let's park our hire. So this you have to kind of time. And we have evasion and fire resist, so we're pretty good here. But it is a place you could obviously die, and this gets us. Whoa, wow. Good thing we have evasion, but we can turn this. That turns off the traps.
The ground shakes as the
And we
stone.
can get the
The
item.
idol's third piece has been located.
Now I keep on going this way. I'll call my hire. Okay, looks like we've been here, so we'll go back the other path. Let's try this way. This looks like, okay, here's a puzzle
The wheels here
wheel.
clearly control the portcullis leading to the room containing the idol's claw.
Now you could actually go around searching for these runes around the area. There will be here, but I'm just going to do what I think most players do, and of course there's no shame in doing that. I'm going to just look it up on DDO Wiki. You just type DDO and then the name of the quest, and usually the DDO Wiki is the first thing that's going to pull up. And most of the quests that have these type of things have somewhere very prominently in one of the images, what the solutions are. So in the DDO wiki, it just says red is going to be this symbol, sort of like a plus, Is that the one? I think that's not the one actually. I think it's actually this one. And then the blue is going to be this sort of backwards looking F. Green is going to be, people call this one ogre. I'm not quite sure I get it, but they call that one ogre. And then purple is going to be that. And so that's going to be our fourth one.
The idol of Halach's left. The idol is nearly complete. Only one piece left to find.
And this looks like the way. I think there's a...
Lost heart collapses, cursing your ancestors.
It's not a bad item. I think that key is the key thing. And I don't think, nope, yeah, I think, looks like my expeditious thing ran out. Alright, so I'm just going to put my hireling here, put him on stand his ground, highlight the valve, and then kind of follow it around. Whoops, I guess I still got the valve highlighted, and so I'm going to just have to do this.
Head is nearby.
Grab this.
Found the last piece. Now return to the pedestal at the entrance and reconstruct the idol.
I think I might be able to get around this way, but I could also just hit Q to highlight the valve and have the hireling pull that again. But I think I can go back the other way, so all we have to do now is just head back to the beginning and end the quest. And I think I could have probably went that way, although this way is pretty quick too.
complete again. Well done. The scoundrel's run is over.
This mine has not been worked since the pirates first claimed the Cove. It now serves to separate pirate from peasant.
I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it, but it should be down there somewhere. There it is. So I can just come up here. We'll see him by the time I get over here. There he is. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, even though we have the armor, I'm gonna go ahead and try for it again. It's unbound, so I could put it in my alternate account storage, or I could, you know, have a backup, because I still like the armor, but it's getting to be a little weak. I think, you know, we get to Reapers and facing some of these slimes and oozes, they can wreck my armor. So, you know, if you don't, you know, a lot of the armor now I'm seeing is like around 100, 110, even 140 for toughness.
Because
for durability, we're at 40 in ours. Alright, and now we're just going to ride our horse over and check out, see if we're lucky enough to get the brine rare and item. Again, not super high hopes, but while we're here, we might as well, you know, look for the item, and I'd like to get that staff for next life, although, you know, it's not a must-have. It's a pretty nice item for level 4, and I'd probably be a staff build up until about level 7 or 8 if I get that staff. Nope, that's all right. This is not where I intended to go. But it's good to know that would probably have been a quicker way to go for that rare, was to just cross through there. Cut through this like a little pirate area, and there is a rare here, but it's not super good. But we can, I guess, expect these guys pretty quick. And we'll do the
Our
first one of
cave
this.
extends deep into the rock behind this waterfall.
Alright, so the first thing, troglodytes, means we're going to face a lot of magic missiles. So let's, even though it's normal, let's get our shield on.
The grotto is
It'll be pretty
warm
bad in
and
Reaper
damp.
if we forget
The
that.
sound
So
of
let's just make
dripping
sure we
water
have good help.
surrounds you, and a faint, musky odor hangs in
Alright,
the air.
ooze weapon. And the nice thing about it being a quarterstaff is it's blunt, so it doesn't split those. Those can split. And the objective is to get these eggs, so we want to make sure we don't miss any eggs at all. You can see some eggs up ahead. We want to make sure we don't miss a single egg.
Egg splits open, spilling rank-smelling jelly into the water. Something glistens far beneath the stone bridge. It looks like a clutch of slimy
Okay,
eggs.
this is just an optional, but we'll get it. It's a chest, and I think we open the chest. It's sort of an ambush, just so you can see it. Normal.
As the chest creaks open, the gargoyles around the chamber shudder to life. Great well protected.
Alright, so I'm gonna have to get my bow for that guy. And let's just make sure there's no eggs that are hard to get. So get these.
You glimpse a glimmer of light above the waterfall. This huge echoing vault was once the hideout of Garl the Grey and his men. More troglodytes' eggs lie in the cistern. Hissing and snarling rise up from the water below. This must be the troglodytes' main den.
can see it's just handy to, you know, keep a bow and arrow around and having that quiver that just collects arrows automatically. And so I need to be better about making sure I take bolts out. It looks like I've done a pretty good job of that, but basically you just take bolts out and sell those, and then you'll end up, you know, you'll have enough arrows for whatever you need. Before we jump down, I'm just making sure I didn't miss any more at this level. And I'm going to go ahead and try and get this collectible here.
A huge troglodyte stirs in the mist. This is Zoth, the progenitor of the eggs. Slain.
If we do this right, there should be 6 eggs at the end. If not, we'll just have to retrace our steps and find out what we missed. Ooh, ooze weapon.
Through the arches lies the way to Grey Garl's resting place. Red Tom and his lot never made it this far. Here, in this sea-flooded cave, are the last of the troglodyte's eggs. Sputtering streams of slime, the last of the troglodyte's eggs. The breeding grounds are destroyed.
Those are actually, oh, level 7, I guess they're not that great. If it was a little bit lower level, they might be nice.
Our cave extends deep into the rock behind this waterfall.
We'll just check for a rare up here. I should have probably checked for it before I came to this quest. It's we don't need it. It's a rune arm, but it's unbound, and so it's probably the best low-level rune arm in the game for sure. Level 5 until quite a bit higher. It's the best rune arm, but it's like all things in here. It's it's got a drop rate of, I don't know, 1 in 30 or something. So. Pretty low, and so we'll just see if we get it, and if we get it, we'll trade it to our Unbound account, and then whenever we're ready for a ranged life, maybe an Artificer, or probably with an Artificer or something, we'll pull it out of there and have it ready, or we'll sell it at some point.
A small building stands curiously alone in the center of the cove.
The loathsome orc captain.
The trial will be treacherous. Be aware of every step you take.
A lot of traps in here, so keep your hireling held back. So that kind of cleared the way for half of it. I thought there might be another. Let me see if this is collectible.
This is sure to be the first of many surprises.
Yeah, so like I said, if you have trouble, whoops, be careful for those explosive barrels. I shouldn't be smashing those with my melee weapon. If you're having trouble with it on normal, I would say skip it, come back to it. I could do this because there's just not that fire resist, but probably want to go with ranged on that. And there's always a chest here.
System of ladders leads up the shaft. Agility and physical endurance will be paramount in overcoming this challenge.
I am not an expert on these. I have trouble with these, but I'll do my best to explain what to do here. Alright, so you climb up till you're about to the top of it. And then, at least on Windows, I don't know about the Mac, but you hold down your right mouse key and then aim towards here and keep the right mouse key pointing here. Then you hit the shift key or the space key and the forward arrow key really fast about the same time and to get on this arrow ladder. Then you do the same thing, you climb up to the top of this one. And when you get kind of near the top, you don't have to be right on the top. If you get right to the top, you'll kind of get into this loop thing. Same thing, hold down the right mouse key, point to the arrow, hit the shift or the space and the up arrow at the same time. I think the WASD keys do the same thing. I don't use those, I use the arrows. Alright, so same thing, we get to the top, hold down the right mouse key and you can see the... Alright, this time which one do we want? I don't think we need that one, so I think we want this one. Alright, so I think W might be the... Oh. So space and W is a little easier, so I'm going to try that. Whoop, that didn't work. Alright. So that ladder is a little bit too far, I guess. So first we're going to have to take this one and then jump back to this one, because that one has a little bit of space on the bottom there. So aim towards it. And space and W is a little easier because I could do that with one hand on this computer that I have. I don't have the best. I don't really have gaming equipment. I just have a standard old computer, and you know, it's fine, but some of the Mario things like this probably would be better with a programmable mouse and some of those things, but I just don't have those things. Alright, so we don't need to go there. We are going to need to go here next. So hold down the right mouse and then space W or space up. And this is it right there. So hold down the right mouse key and space W. You hit the space, but then keep pressing the W until you're on the ladder. Don't let go of that W. Alright, so now we're up here, and now I think all we have to do is just jump down. I'm going to get to the very top. And just like before, you want to go down here and you want to hit the space and W to kind of feather fall forward.
Your muscles are worn and
so this
weary
part
from the ascent of the
was very hard for me
agility
to figure out. I didn't
The
understand that
fetid
right mouse
stench
key
of sewer
part,
fills your
and I was trying to do it
nostrils.
with just the arrows, and it was really, really tough. So once I learned the right mouse click trick, it became a lot easier. All right, this is an ambush. Not too bad. It's actually a little tougher on Epic.
You
Epic version of
survived
this.
the war-forged ambush. Now the constructs cease to exist.
The door opens up to reveal an elaborate obstacle course. One
You
wrong
can just jump-
step could put an end to the trial.
Well, you could just feather fall down. Whether or not you want to fight these guys, I don't think they keep shooting at you, but I'm gonna just take care of them anyways.
A series
Alright,
of levers and
so-
traps dot the walls, the floor, and the ceiling. Only your wit can solve this conundrum.
So again, you want to go to DDO Wiki, and you want to type, or you want to go, you could just Google DDO, prove your worth, and you should get the wiki article as one of your first, if not the first, one of the first articles that come up. It's the first that comes up for me. And this will kind of give you a legend for this puzzle. This puzzle's one of the, harder things in the game. Honestly, I don't know how you'd figure it out without the wiki. Like, I don't know how they figure, someone must just randomly, I'm not sure what the actual solution to this is, but basically the puzzle is oriented this way, right? So you're kind of here with the levers, and so you want it to be this way, like this. So this is pointing out. This is kind of pointing from here to the door there, and this one is pointing from here back to here. And I don't know why that is. Like, there's maybe a puzzle or something for that, but this is the way you need to do it. Okay, and then I was having trouble the first time I saw the wiki. How do I even do this with the wiki? But basically, if you look at the puzzle, this is the top and that's the bottom, so you should stand here, and then if you look at the wiki solution numbers, right, it's 1, then 2,
Pulling this lever fires a dart high above, leading you to believe it is a trigger mechanism.
then 3,
The other components in the room return to their initial state. This appears to be a reset mechanism.
and then 4. And then 5, but
The challenge was no match for your sharp wit. The portcullis rumbles open.
and that solves it. So it's not that bad, but if you're having trouble following the wiki, you could just watch that little section and look at the wiki, and it'll make a lot more sense. This is an ambush.
You hear a metallic clanking from behind. Push.
A sweltering wave of heat washes over your body. Rackham's Inferno will take precision and cunning to overcome.
I think the first trap is actually up here, but I just like to search back there because I start seeing my message. But this is the first trap box. Alright, now we have evasion and pretty good fire, but this is still no slouch here. Alright, and so our goal is to pull all three of those levers. And we can get this lever by just going across, but let's see. Let's get these traps. Rid of that trap, and let's see if our jump's good enough to get up here. Nope. So we may have to go back. Alright, so we're gonna have to run this. You can sort of time it. There's one here. And then wait till after you see these two. This is kind of a safe spot. And so after we see this, let's go here. I think we can do this. There. Let's get this fire, this trap. Back and get this one, then we'll go back and do the lever.
You have weathered Rackham's Inferno.
So we can go by, like, we have one more lever though here. It's pretty tough to time this. And you can see Fergus isn't doing too well. Let's pull Fergus out and heal him up. But with evasion and fire, immunity, you can get that pretty well. Alright, let's grab this chest. But you can see why I suggest this might be one, you know, especially on the Reaper, you might want to consider skipping it and doing it either on Epic or doing it at Epic levels. The only bad thing then is you don't do this on your Saga if you do that. So, oh, we didn't need to go there. And now we get to the end fight, and again the wiki kind of explains the talking to part here, but basically the bottom line is that you can make this quest glitch if you don't do this part right. Alright, so let's just talk to him. Alright, so just say run for the loot here to avoid the fighting. And then local tavern, of course. Again, this is the option to avoid the fighting. And then it doesn't really matter what you do. I think on this one, or no, double the share of crewmate. And then this one, it doesn't really matter what you do. Let's try bluffing. I think no matter here, you're going to be fighting. No matter what. Alright. And then you want to make Meeble walk the plank.
You survived the gruels of Rackham's trial.
So I've seen this quest glitch, and I don't know what caused it to glitch, but I know if you make those choices, it will not glitch that same way I did. All right, so I'm going to break this up into two parts because we're already over an hour. So this is the first part of Three Barrel Cove on normal, and I'm going
A
to
small building
run
stands
the other
curiously
quest
alone
next.
in